Very, very busy Jackson Hole. Every video is going to start with a cup of coffee. Every day is going to start with a cup of coffee if I have anything to say about it. So happy 4th of July to everybody. My plan is to stay in Jackson Hole for another night. Go to the fireworks tonight, and I think I'm gonna find a razor somewhere, shave some of this. I'll end up with a neck beard. And honestly, those are my only plans, right? Shave and see the fireworks. Everything else is optional. I might ride. There's a couple roads out here that are really nice to ride on. I might go for a ride somewhere. It'd be weird. This is day 11, and if I don't get on the bike, then I'll break my trend, and I don't want to do that because, you know, I like setting trends.
It's reasonably miserable.
Happy 4th of July parade. Absolutely.
Yes, it's right there.
The events, public concerts, and parades. The Jacksonville Community Band, they are all volunteers. They hail from all backgrounds and ages. Take it away, Community Band. Let the candy begin. Entrance number 5, Save the Rodeo Grounds, Miss Historic Rodeo, Jackson Hall. Short extends hands-on, learning opportunities to local youth. Members learn practical skills and gain knowledge throughout your homes. Thank you, 4-H.
And the Jacksonville Farmers Market, this is the 22nd year of the Farmers Market, putting on network community asking for resident commercial properties, not just the usual dinosaurs to clean things up.
Okay, nice. Don't fall down, okay? Don't fall down.
There is absolutely no end to this parade. Every business, every politician, every social group in 3 or 4 counties has at least a little float in there. So I can't take it anymore. I'm gonna walk away. Oh, and I'm gonna answer a couple questions some of you guys have had. I had a couple questions about BDRs. The first was, what are my favorites of the 6 or however many I've done now? I'm not even sure. My favorites by far have been Colorado and Utah, and they're pretty much a tie. They both change dramatically as you go along them. So, like Utah starts out in the middle of the absolute desert and ends up in the mountains, and it's all green and cool. And it's really neat. Colorado kind of does the same thing, plus it has the Alpine Loop in there. The last part of the Colorado BDR and Steamboat is kind of, it's okay, but anyway, so those are by far my 2 favorites. As far as preparing for them, number 1 is go watch a video on the BDR, go get the maps from Butler Maps, download the GPS tracks from the BDR website, and everything else after that will just fall into place. They are really well planned out. You don't even have to think about it. That's what I like about it. I don't have to plan a trip. I just get that stuff and I just start driving. Oh shoot, who are we? Oh, it's the fire department, or the airport fire department. They're a big striker. I don't know if I can get it in there. Anyways, those airport guys, man, they just think they're the shizzle, and they put out a fire, what, every 3 years? Anyways, if you guys have any more questions about BDRs and how to do them, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them. All right, there's a question you did ask and I forgot to answer. How do I get the bike to the beginning or the end of the BDRs? Do I truck them? Do I ride them? And that depends on 2 things. How far away is it? Do I have to ride my bike for 10, 12 hours? And how much time do I have to get there? I've got kind of an iron butt. I can ride for pretty long, even on my dirt bike, which is kind of buzzy. It is not smooth like a twin, okay? It's still a thumper. It still buzzes and you'll go numb, but whatever. The other factor is how much of my knobbies is that trip gonna eat up. I do not run 50-50 tires. I run 20% road, 80% dirt tires, although they're DOT, but they're still knobbies. So doing 1,000 miles on the road eats up 1/3 of their life, depending on which knobbies you get. So it depends. Arizona is a full state away from my house, so I trucked my bike to the top. I rode it 700 miles to the start to Mexico. I rode the bike, and then I rode the bike from BDR back up. So I saved myself all that tire wear, plus I got air conditioning. For the Wyoming BDR, the start is 200 miles from my house in Colorado. So I just rode the bike, and I'm planning on riding the bike the whole way, but I hit the BDR with pretty fresh tires. They're worn down now, but most of the miles I'm doing now are road miles. So do I care if my knobbies wear down to, you know, 1/8 of an inch? Not really. So it's kind of those two factors, and it's 100% dependent on you and what you can take. How far can you ride your bike, right? If that's something like a T7 or an 890 or one of those big twins that are so smooth and silky when they ride, I would just ride the thing everywhere. But again, I don't. I have a dirt bike, so I got to take that in consideration. So I hope that helps. A huge tip for anybody wanting to do any ride anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a BDR or anything. Figure out where your local dealer is, especially if it's a dealer for your bike, a Honda dealership. I roll in at a Honda dealership. I tell them what I'm doing and what I'm doing it on, and they are just all kinds of helpful. Every time, everyone, right? They take your oil, use tires if you're switching out tires. If you need anything, they've got it, and they love to help. So as you're looking around at where you're going to ride, find the dealerships you're going to be close to, and make a point to go through them and just tell them your story, and they'd be more than happy to help. When I trucked my bike to Arizona, I left my truck at a dealership in Page, Arizona at the top. It sat there for a week and a half. They had no problem at all helping me out that way. They just told me where to park it kind of out back, and that's what I did. And that's normally what I do with my vehicle when I needed to leave it somewhere. So dealerships are a tremendous resource when you're doing this kind of trip around here. Okay. Goggles. All right, well, we're talking about photography. Just so you guys know, a lot of the shots I take on the camera, on my Sony, do not show up anywhere except Instagram, and they don't show up until like a week, well, a couple days after I get back, because I can't download them off the camera because that, like my GoPro, the whole Wi-Fi thing doesn't make any sense. So if you guys design stuff for me, it's got to be drop dead simple. Push this button and we're done. Otherwise I won't use it. Anyways, so go to Instagram, same thing, John T. Young. I'm all John T. Young. And a couple days after this comes out, a couple days after I get back from whatever trip I'm on, that's when Instagram gets all the, call it the good shots. well, that's the end of day 11, and I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. Happy birthday, America.